Let me start with this. Imagine a world where three of the most strategically pivotal countries in the Middle East suddenly decide to form a security alliance. Not just any alliance, something that could shift the balance of power in ways we're not even prepared for yet. That's exactly what's happening with Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan's new defense pact. And now, they are talking about expanding it. But here's the kicker, this isn't just about military coordination. It's about rewriting the rules of regional politics, and the ripple effects could be massive. Let me break this down for you. Now, I know what you're thinking, why does this matter? Well, picture this. These three countries are like the three musketeers of the Middle East, but with nukes, drones, and a shared disdain for Iran's regional ambitions. The Mecca Joint Deterrence Agreement they signed recently is essentially a NATO-style pact, but with a twist. If one is attacked, all three respond. Sounds simple, right? But here's where it gets wild, the details are still fuzzy. What does respond even mean? Do they launch missiles? Send troops? Or just issue a stern press release? That ambiguity is both a strength and a risk. It's like having a fire alarm that only goes off if you yell at the right volume. You never know when it'll actually trigger. Now, let's talk about expansion. Turkey's foreign minister, Hakan Fidan, is basically throwing out a challenge. We're not stopping at three countries. We're going global. But who's actually going to join? Egypt's been floated as a potential member, and honestly, it makes sense. Egypt is already part of the R4 group with these three countries, and they've been warming up to Turkey lately. But here's the catch, Egypt has a delicate dance with the US, Israel, and its own internal politics. If they sign on, they are basically saying, we're okay with you guys fighting our wars for us. But what if they end up dragged into a conflict they didn't want? That's a nightmare scenario for Cairo. They'd be like a kid in a candy store, excited about the options but terrified of the sugar rush. Then there's the Gulf. Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, could they be next? I mean, Qatar's had some rough years. Remember when Israel bombed their embassy? That's a wake-up call. If they join, they are not just getting a security blanket, they are making a statement. But here's the thing, the Gulf states have their own rivalries. Saudi Arabia and Iran are archenemies, but Qatar and Saudi Arabia have had their share of friction too. If this pact becomes a bloc, it could either unite the Gulf or fracture it further. It's like trying to build a house with everyone arguing over the blueprint. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, the US. This isn't just a regional game. The US has spent decades shaping the Middle East's security architecture. If this pact grows, it could force Washington to rethink its strategy. Are they going to cozy up to this new alliance, or will they see it as a threat? The answer might determine whether America stays the dominant power in the region or gets sidelined by a new generation of leaders who don't need them. But here's what really fascinates me, the psychology behind this. Why now? Why these countries? It's not just about Iran. It's about a generational shift in how these nations view their place in the world. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan are all trying to assert themselves as independent actors, not just pawns in someone else's game. They are saying, we've had enough of being pushed around. We're writing our own rules. That's powerful stuff. It's like seeing a group of underdogs finally stepping into the ring and realizing they can punch back. So, what's the bigger picture here? This pact isn't just about defense. It's about identity, sovereignty, and the future of the Middle East. If it succeeds, it could create a new regional order, one where the old powers have to negotiate from a position of equality. But if it fails, it could spark a new round of conflicts, with countries scrambling to align themselves with the right side of the fence. Either way, this is a moment that could define the next decade of global politics. And honestly, I can't wait to see how it plays out.